Hey guys, welcome back to Covenant Canon. Today we just got the second of 3 previews for Halo Outcast. And this one, this one has a lot, and I mean a lot of juicy Sangheili lore and very interesting details on what we might be seeing for Outcast. It introduces us to a new character that actually explains the mysterious Sangheili on the cover of Outcast. And it gives us our first actual look of a place we all been dying to see for years now. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Without further ado, let's break down the second preview of Halo Outcast. This preview is of Chapter 2, where it picks up immediately after the confrontation with the Armigers in Chapter 1, and it takes us all the way to Vadam. And to add frosting to this amazing article, it gives us our first actual look at Vadam, the entire city-state. This piece looks absolutely amazing. Ever since the Kilo 5 books, we've all been wondering what Vadam looks like. And now we finally have it. And it just looks absolutely gorgeous. It sort of looks like Naboo from the Star Wars universe. And I absolutely love how Vadam Keep looks in the side of the Kolar Mountain. The inclusion of the Sangheili statues that we've seen in Halo 5 are just chef's kiss. Total chef's kiss. But moving on to the actual preview, Thel, Uze, Kola, and Emtho arrive at the back entrance of Vadam Keep. There they contemplate all that occurred within the High Gathering and the confrontation with the Armigers. And pretty much they contemplate all the faults and weaknesses of Sangheili society, such as bearing weapons, the alliance between Vadam and the humans, and the ingathering within the Kaidons, and how Cortana and the Created are benefiting from such weaknesses. This conversation really shows how faulty the Sangheili system is, even though it has developed a strong fanbase, myself included. And like I said, Thel is contemplating how his alliance with humanity has both benefited him and kinda alienated him from the other Kaidons. While the human alliance has certainly benefited the Arbiter from the siege of Kolar to the Battle of Sunayon, he knows that further reliance upon what remains of the UNSC would certainly strain his relationship with the other Kaidons, and that's something he can't afford. And pausing again, this preview confirms my initial suspicions from the previous one, that the Blood & Years is over now, and Sanghelios is in a relative state of peace, albeit under a control of a tyrannical AI, but I digress. As the Krav enters deeper within the keep, Thel Vadam is confronted by his keepmaster, who is basically a Castellan, and has governed over the keep long before Vadam ever became Kaidon. The keepmaster then disables all known communication equipment and electronics, for the Created are known to monitor almost all forms of communication technology. After ensuring their conversation could not be monitored, the Keepmaster informs the Kaidon that he has a visitor. Thel initially believes that it's Olympia Vale, who has remained in Vadam Keep at some point after Bad Blood. The Keepmaster corrects him that it's not Vale, but an Oath Warden, known as Krei Iomu. Now 2 things. 1. Oath Wardens are basically bounty hunters hired to enforce broken agreements and are held in generally low regard in Sangheili society, for being little more than mercenaries. The Oath Wardens sound to me like Ronins in Japanese society. And second is that Iomu is the Sangheili that we see in the cover of Outcast, not Nezak Kevarosi. When I read this, I was very much surprised. I was fully expecting this to be Nezat, as the armor looks scavenged and kinda resembles that of a Silent Shadow. I still have faith that Nezat is still in this book, but this reveal is very surprising. And honestly, I'm not that disappointed as I thought I would be. But let's move on. When heard that the Oath Warden was here, Vadam was initially very surprised and worried what this might portend. He announced that he'll receive him in the Grand Gallery of the Keep, and within this Grand Gallery houses the legendary Vadam Saga Wall. Now for those of you who are new to Sangheili lore, Saga Walls are basically murals depicting the prowess of Sangheili warriors gone by. This particular saga wall has tales such as Vadam, the legendary founder of the line, and that of Thel's. The preview actually goes into detail on certain carvings within the wall, such as Thel's time as Supreme Commander of the Fleet of Particular Justice, the destruction of Alpha Halo, his branding and becoming Arbiter, and the Great Schism. And one particular mural actually has him fighting alongside the Master Chief, putting an end to the Covenant. And the murals in progress are depicting him founding the Swords of St. Helios and forging a lasting alliance with humanity. This goes to show you how much Troy Denning puts a lot of detail into Sangheili lore and customs, especially out of this minor detail from the Cole Protocol. But let's move forward. Iomu is ushered into the gallery by Daham and Bioth. However, the initial interaction between the Oath Warden and the Kaidan isn't so smoothly. Iomu was granted audience with the Kaidan on the basis on the skirmish that was mentioned in the previous chapter. This is sort of a lie. He made this claim so that he can talk to Thel face to face. And when he does speak to him, he basically taunts him and pretty much goads him to anger and rage. When Thel had enough of this and threatened to kick him out, Iomu was more forthcoming on why he was there. He claimed that his client financed an expedition to Umba, which we know as Netherop. And for this, he hired a human female xenoarchaeologist. And here we learn that Umba is Sangheili for World of Death. And from what we saw in Halo Oblivion, it's an apt name, I would say. But moving on. The Oath Warden continues that this human took the money from his client, and he believes that this human has betrayed him. Apparently, Iomu believes that this human is living in the Vadam Valley, where all the other humans are living right now. These are humans who were stationed on St. Helios before the Created Uprising. Iomu further discloses that he dispatched a couple of eyes to find this human. Now, for those of you who don't know, eyes are observation equipment used to spy on their targets. And these particular eyes were sent to the Tenant Island that was destroyed. Apparently, the residents were alarmed by the eyes and opened fire on them. Iomu fled the scene, but then the Armigers arrived. And that's pretty much where all hell broke loose. Clearly angered by this revelation, Vadam demands to know what makes this human so special to his client. The Oath Warden reveals that this human special area is to study proagenic civilizations before the Forerunners. Apparently, this human scientist was funded to know more about the civilization that was on Umba, and when the Created took over, her fundings vanished. And apparently, she was desperate enough to seek a Sangheili's assistance, if indeed it was a Sangheili. He further reveals that this human is called Kili Leuxtra, and after agreeing to his client's terms for the expedition, Leuxtra discovers an ancient account suggesting that the Umba civilization was attacked by the Forerunners, more specifically, their guardians. And moreover, they defeated this guardian. And that surprised both Vadam and us. The only thing that can really take down a guardian is an EMP, which we saw in Legacy of Onyx, with a Huragok being able to do so. But seeing a foreign alien civilization managing to take down a guardian is something that Vadam could not ignore. And with that, he allowed Iomu to sit as equals, and then making up a plan. So, that's the second preview for Halo Outcast. Like I said, it has a lot of juicy information here that I couldn't explain more than I could. It is just absolutely amazing. Like I said, I love the detailed artwork on Vadam. It just looks absolutely fantastic, and I love the added lore bits on Sanghelios and the Sangheili culture. I particularly like these Oath Wardens, and the Keep Master actually sounds very interesting to me. I, for one, cannot wait to get my hands on Outcasts when it comes out on August 8th. It just can't come sooner enough. But what did you guys think of this preview? Did you like all the new lore bits that we got? Let me know in the comments below. But until next time, guys, this has been Covenant Canon.